We are live. We're going to start with where we left off yesterday. This is where we left off yesterday. I'm going to wait for folks to come on here, and then we'll get started. Takes a minute sometimes to get started. Okay. Okay, waiting for a few people. Maybe I'm on here a little bit early. A lot of people are outside taking walks in the sunshine in my neighborhood rather than watching YouTube. Okay, this is where we left off yesterday on the urban cowgirl drawing. And yesterday I showed the basically from scratch workout video of how I work the drawing out. I'm not going to do that again today, but I will follow up with a YouTube short that'll show some progression on this. And this is where we left off, but I've been working on it on my own. I worked out some problems without anyone watching, and so I'm going to turn this layer off and bring you up to date. So this is where I am now. I added some details to the smoke. I changed the sky to blue and added rays to the sun. I recolored that grid below, and I also blocked in all the color on this side. I have a few details to go over here, but here I have only blocked in one building. I'm going to block in this building so you can see how I set up my layers on that, and then I'm going to finish up some details on her. And so I'm going to get started now on showing you how. So first I'm going to turn her off, which is hard for me to do. She's the focal point. But I just want to show you the layers and I'll turn that off too, for the building. So I have the building divided into layers to start with. So there's a detail layer I'm shutting off. And here's another color block layer. This side, very clearly, this side is all mixed together at this point because I worked on it for a long time and I merged layers. So let's look at this side. There's my basic blocks of my building, and actually underneath that, let me turn this off. Underneath that is just where I blocked out the building shapes. I got a rogue purple in there, but so that's that. So I'm going to start turning the layers back on. This layer. Okay, so here is the basic building shapes, and then here I put in some doors and windows, and then here I put in, oh, that's the the sketch over the top, which I'll turn on for drawing. And then there's some details. I started on some hinges there. So I'm doing all this in vector so that I can change the colors really easily with just adding, the bucket to fill. I didn't use the wet paint brushes because they operate differently. So let's go back here and turn on the sketch so I know what I'm going to try and do. And I think we're going to work on this building right here. So if this is my basic paint layer for the building blocks, this is sort of, I'm going to go on that layer and I'm going to set up some basic areas of color using a vector. Okay, look at the door. And the pink hinges there, I'm going to probably turn those black, but those are on the I call it the decorative layer, like the final layer that's got all the decoration on it. I can actually just grab the bucket here and fill this now and go back. Okay, so here, I'm not sure what I had in mind there. Those little circles. I think they're a decoration layer. Here I'm going to block out some color. So go back to I'm going to make this smaller. It's a little big. We'll block out these corbels. By day, I work for a design build company, so I know that my drawings of these architectural elements are very rough. I mean, for just the general public, I think, who are not architects or designers. We have both at our company. Most people will be like, oh, those are cool. But the architects and the designers would say, wow, that's a piece of art. Okay, let's go with a darker. I'm trying to just go with colors that I've already got on my palette here. Why not? Oh, I forgot to fill those other ones in. So let's do that. Bucket. And then I'm going to choose a different color for below there. I'm just going to go darker. And then let's make the sides a totally different color. Okay, so the way I could do this is think this through, Maggie. Okay. I remember the first time I ever went to New Orleans, and I was just enamored with, and the same thing in San Francisco, with all the beautiful painted architecture, old buildings with lots of different colors on them. How could you not love that? Okay. So that's kind of blocked out. And then I think we'll just, whoops. Okay, lost our perspective a little bit there. That's an interesting problem. Does it matter? Sometimes you have to say, does it matter? Is it important? It's a little bit important. And can I isolate them? I can. So I'm going to try and just push that perspective. No, cancel. I don't want to liquefy. I think I'm just going to wing it here. Cancel. Let's go back to make sure we're on the right layer. There. And let's make the perspective happen with those. And we're going to just erase that one. Another way I can adjust this, oops, I didn't actually want to do all that. I just want to grab this center circle right here. And I can transform it and make it a little tiny bit smaller. Done. Deselect. Okay, whoops, cancel. Okay, that's not standing out to me as wrong anymore. It's not perfect, but nothing about this background is meant to be perfect. It's all supposed to be pretty loose. Okay, so we're going to do a little Juliet balcony here. I'll keep on with that same color. And we're going to need it to be a little thicker than that. See if this is too thick. No, I think that's perfect. Going a little bit taller here just because of that perspective thing. And the last one. could also be a little bit of a border. There we go. So I think that I probably should have put that on the ornament layer up here, but I didn't. I put it on this one, so that means I'm going to go back here to this layer and do the door behind it. And we'll make that a dark. There. Yeah, and I also think I'm going to do that here. Whoops, I didn't mean to do the whole building. And then here. And then here, oops, I just did it again. I forget to change back to my paintbrush. So we're adding a bit of an architectural element here. And I want that to be detailed out later. So I'm just going to take this. Okay, because I'm on a back layer. So I need to go on the upper layer, which is the ornament layer, and finish that. Okay. I feel like I want this area back here to be a little bit darker. So let's find a nice dark gray. Got my brush. I want to be on the color block layer. So it's this whole section behind the Juliet balcony. There. Okay, thanks for the thumbs up. I am really trying to grow my channel. If anybody is on here who hasn't subscribed and you enjoy watching me draw or you're learning anything, please subscribe to my channel. I will be forever grateful to you. It is how, well, let me tell you why to subscribe to my channel or to anybody else you like. When you're getting started on YouTube, let's see, I'm going to go up to the decorative layer and start adding some decoration. When you start on YouTube, you don't get paid at all. And some people are on here for a long time and they never get paid because they don't want to get paid. They don't care. And that's great. But if you want to actually get paid for the time that you're working, even if it is something you enjoy, then you have to get monetized. And to get monetized, you have to have 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 watch hours. There's a smaller version of monetization that's 3,000 watch hours, but I don't think it's very effective. Oh, I did it again. Okay, switch to the brush. And so the way that I and other creators that you might like watching, what we end up doing if we're beginners is we work for free. We don't make any money for this, even though you will see ads on my work. Anytime, if you like subscribe to my channel and you go and you watch my videos, there'll be an ad run, and I don't get anything for that. So it would be great if I became monetized so that if they're gonna run ads, and basically they run ads for people who don't pay the premium, they end up having to watch ads. And that was me for years and years and years. I never paid the premium subscription to YouTube. And so, long story short, if you subscribe to me and any other creators that you enjoy watching, especially if they're small, if they've got less than 1,000 subscribers, they're basically working for free. They're not making any money from what they do. Oh, that's interesting. I goofed because I was talking. So this, we're just going to bring it down to the rail here. I'm going to have to switch to a layer behind the decorative layer here and add that line. There we go. I'm going to merge these all together eventually, so it doesn't matter, but for right now. Okay. Just add a tiny bit of detail there. I think we'll add, oops, somehow I ended up with the eraser. It does that to me sometimes. Let's add a little detail line right there. And go back up to the decorative layer. It's a little bit harder when I have my tablet on the screen for you and I try and draw with the iPad and iPencil are fabulous tools, but they're a little slippery if you don't have a special screen protector, which I don't have. I'm going to get one though. There we go. Add a little detail there. Okay, and put you back in the screen for you. Thank you for watching, for those of you who are hanging with me. Let me show you the, okay, I think I've gotten pretty far on that building. Maybe we'll switch back to the girl, because I've got to do some details on her. There she is. That's what I've been working on all weekend. And I'm just going to go ahead and take these all together so I don't accidentally mess up my layers. So I just put all my building layers together and I'm just going to lock them for the moment so I don't accidentally move them or mess them up. And let's work on, so I had a few things I wanted to do here. I need to I want to show you how I did the rays up here on the sun. So unlock that, and then we're going to work on her belt and her hat band. So unlock this. Ungroup. Okay, so the way I did this is I had the sun layer, and then that's the smoke going overhead. Underneath those, oh, there's just some extraneous. Let me merge that one down. There's no reason for that. Merge down. So underneath that is the rays, basically. You see the rays come and go when I tap on it. So back here, yeah. And then I had some rays here, some vector rays. And those rays, okay, so I used a paintbrush, and I used a, in order to get this whole effect up here, I'll show you what I used. I used wet brushes, and I'm going to just grab the same color using the eyedropper right there. And I actually think I did a vector layer for the orbs, and then I merged it down. So let me grab a vector layer here, which is just my regular paintbrush. Where should we add some more? Oh, I know. I was thinking down here we could add a couple orbs to the rays. And here. We'll have these get smaller. And then the way that I go back to this layer, the way that I created this was I just went ahead and took painted lines, regular wet paint lines, and then I used my smoothing brush, and I just went side to side like that. And it creates a whole different look. Whoops. And we'll do a little bit here too. I just like to mess things up. Can't help myself. There we go. Okay. All right, so, oh, we're also going to work on this grid today too, but let's go in and add some details on the hat. So I'm going to go to her, ungroup, let's see here, put the sun back together and lock it up. Lock layer group. And we'll go back here and we will ungroup this layer so I can see this is, where's the hat band? There's the hat band. Oh, that's the boot. Let me merge that down. Hat band and boots, hair, clothes. Where's the hat? Oh, it's up here. Okay. So I probably could go all the way up here because it'll be cleaner when I work on it. I have a little problem here. With that white. Get rid of that white. Go back to the clothing layer. Let's grab a wet brush in oil. We're going to go here to start with. Okay. We need a little brighter. There we go. What layer? Oh, we're on the wrong layer. Sorry, thanks for hanging with me. I usually catch when I'm making a mistake fairly early without going too far. I was making a mistake there. I was on the wrong layer. It was going to blend all the black in with the yellow, which is not a, those are two colors that are not good for mixing. It becomes a bit of an acid green, which is good for Halloween, but not for this hat. Thanks so much, folks. Oh, I haven't checked the comments. Let me see who's on here. Kevin. Thank you, Kevin. Avinash, hi. Relax it. Nice, thank you. Nobody. Lots of funny faces. Greetings, Kevin. Oh, great idea, my own logo. It's not a symmetrical logo. It's, I don't. Yes, get outside. It's a beautiful day. Okay, back to, I know the sun is shining and a walk is calling to me, but I've got a little time yet. So we'll keep going on this. Thanks for the comments, everybody. Let's go with even brighter in there. So I'm going to go up here to the sketched layer and I'm going to erase some of this because I'm only leaving things that add to the drawing that make it look pleasing to the eye. And sometimes the sketching interferes with the rest of what I'm trying to do. It is nice though to have it done in a way that is, if I go to pencil and I choose black and I go very, very small, let me see what happens here if I sketch back. Am I on that layer? Yes. Why is it not showing? Interesting problem. It must be the pencil that I've chosen. Yes, I have a rake. That's the problem. Let's go to a basic pencil. Sometimes it takes a little bit to get what you're after with these pencils. I've only got a few favorites that are my go-tos. I was also going to say, for those of you who are thinking about doing some drawing, and I'm not going to say the same thing over and over that I said before, I was going to share, if I can get my computer to wake up, I put some notes up here that I want to read. Come on, wake up, computer. Oh, maybe not. What I was going to share, and I can't share the visuals because there's so many copyrights on things, but I studied art history for 5 years, 5 semesters when I was in college, and I actually learned a ton. And one of the things that I learned was that artists produce some of their best work, not all their best work, but a lot of times their best work when they're really old, because they've been working and going at it so long, and so they've gotten pretty good with their techniques, but they don't okay, I found what I wanted to share with you. But they don't quit. They don't like retire and stop working. So that's sort of interesting. And one of those was Henry Matisse. He was wheelchair bound, and he depended upon having assistants help him because he was really just in, a bad way because he was wheelchair bound. Okay, let's try this rough pencil. Yeah, that's what I want. I just want it to be a little bit smaller, a little less dense. And then we'll try, what happened? Oh, there it is. So this retains that feeling of sketch that I had going with the sketch before that was overlaid, my original sketch. But it makes more sense with the drawing. It's not completely misaligned. And it's just actually just kind of showing you where a shadow might be. I'll do the same thing with the horseshoe. Just let it be a little more definite. Okay, that looks better. Kind of want to carve out a center to these. With some nice patina in there. Okay. I think I have some white here I can get rid of. I noticed this white earlier, but I kind of like that white there. This one's a little low. It's a nice accent. Let's see, where else did I see some white? Some rogue white. I think we got most of it. Okay, working on the belt. So first of all, I think I want to darken this behind with, and I'll just go ahead and use the same thing I used before, which was a brown watercolor. But we're going to go as dark as possible. Oh, whoa. So, oh, I see. Her hand and the belt are on the same layer. interesting problem. Let me go with a really tiny brush and see if that will work. Really tiny, really tiny. It just wants to spread into the fingers, so I'll end up having to, nope, I can't erase because there's nothing below. All right, so this is how we solve that. Take away all of that paint I just put on there. Okay, and I'm on this layer right here. I'm going to add a layer. Oh, am I on that layer? I should be on this layer here. Let me see if I do it again, if it's different. Not the eraser. Oh, interessante. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Okay. There we go. It's going to do the same thing. So that's where I'm going to add a layer right above it with that tiny brush. It's not running into it. It's like all by itself on a layer. We're going to darken this because it's going back around her hip and it's under the shadow of her hand. I'm also going to erase where it bled onto the fingers. There is a method to this. Okay, let's back out and see if that's working better. That is working better. The belt is going back now. That looks better. I'll do the same thing over here. And then I think I'm going to go ahead and use the eraser really small, and so that we can highlight these little guys. A lot going on here with this belt. Okay, that I'm going to merge down. And I'm going to add another layer. And I think I'm just going to use a vector brush and go with a silver color. We're going to do a gold and silver belt buckle. It's already got some gold background. got a rogue. I'll bet that's on the clothing layer. Let me go there. Use the eraser. This could be dangerous. Oh, good. Let's go back. Okay, there we go. Now we're going to work on that grid. And then we're going to work on the overall lighting and play around with the whole drawing. So okay. I noticed I could probably leave this locked. I could leave it grouped. And I noticed there's a way to get into a group and then you just see the group of that subgroup of layers, and you can work inside of there. I'll probably start doing that. I didn't really discover that until just lately. There's so many options in these programs, it's hard to learn them all. All right, so I was just going to eyeball this, here's my grid, and I'm going to go with a layer on top, I think. I started down there. Yeah, I will. I'll keep going. Keep going. Just going to check the comments real quick. Avinash. That was my first comment. Okay. Great. Forward we go. Thanks for hanging with me. Thanks for the thumbs up. This is just completing a drawing I've been working on all weekend. I didn't want to just finish it and not share with people who watched quite a few hours of the development. Oh, what happened? I'm on this layer. It changes color sometimes without you asking it to. There's some nuance that happens with hovering or something. Okay. That works better for me. The grid definitely works better. So I've got a little bit of stuff to fix here on my architectural with these stoops that come out. But I think that's okay. I think I can do that. This is what I wanted to do. We'll unlock that, and let's go. There, that's how you get to the layers. Okay, so the steps are on this layer right here. Okay. What I decided was so if that comes like that, there. Okay. So weird, it's not doing what I think it's gonna do. I wonder if it's because it's locked. We'll unlock it. I'll just expand it, ungroup, just the way I normally do. Do what you know. There we go. That's the layer I want to be on. I've got my eraser. I'm trying to make this smaller. That's what I'm trying to do. Show you what I've got to do here. I've got to go to my, this is just messing me up having this big block sketch over the top when I don't want to draw that anymore. I want my stoop to be much smaller. So now I can go back to the layer I'm working on, which is this layer. Gosh, I'm having trouble. It happens sometimes. You gotta go back and forth. It's part of what I don't like about layers. It can get very confusing. Eventually I'm going to merge these all together. Okay, now we're going to go back and we're going to use a different color. We'll just use that color. There, fixed it. Whew, that was hard. So this one has this door is on there, so we're going to bring it down to here and get rid of the stoop. So again, I think I need to go on this layer here and erase it. We're just going to draw over the top of this gray block with the colors that we need. Nope, come here again. Okay. So I need that orange color there. Doing a little bit of cleanup is what I'm doing. Alrighty, that works better. Okay, now we're going to play around with the lighting, and somewhere here I have a background layer that I might have put it with the sun, so let's unlock that layer. Unlock. Ungroup. It's not there. All right, maybe it was in this layer. Unlock. Ungroup. There it is. It's invisible. Okay, I'm turning it on. So I wanted to have a little more light coming from behind her. And then I also was thinking that I would have some of that kind of blue-white rays shooting out. So I'm going to have to turn back on my perspective grid. And we're just going to do 1 point perspective, and we're going to edit where the vanishing point is. Okay, so it's in the right spot. I think it remembered where I was. Okay, done. And it's on. And we'll go to the layer where I've got this cloud burst, and let's add wet brush. We're going to go with that kind of really super bright. And let's see what happens here. So I've got about 12 width. Let's just start here. It's not big enough to see. And then there. Let's see what happens. Whoa. Too big. There we go. That's what I was looking for. Oops. Okay. That's what I was hoping to do. So I'm gonna, in order to make this this background do some different things, I'm gonna merge it together finally. Merge layers in the group. Okay, so that layer right there, I'm going to play around with so we're looking at just the buildings. It's just normal. Let's see, I'm going to click on these different filters. Darken. That's kind of interesting. Multiply. Okay, let me go back to normal. Close this. Let's move it over where you can see it. Make sure it's on the screen. Okay, let me try that again. We're going to use darken. Too dark. Multiply. That's kind of interesting. So lighten. No. Difference is always interesting. Interesting. Okay, we're going back to normal. I don't necessarily want to change it. And I do want to go in here and change a couple of these colors. So back to this layer here. So I'm going to go in here and maybe add a little bit of black here and there. I think here. Going to turn everything. Oh, I just see I need a couple more details. Oh, I've got my perspective grid on. So I think I'm sort of at a stage where I want to erase a few things that are distracting, like here. That was bugging me. Here. That was bugging me. Okay. Let's get rid of some of the distracting sketch lines. Those are all good. What if I got rid of, oh yeah, let's get rid of those. Let's get rid of these. That's better. I like some of the sketch lines to stay, like I kind of like those, but clean them up a little bit. I think we'll get rid of these. Oh, interesting. That right there is there. Okay, so my edge of my paper is actually right about there. All of this messy stuff on the edge is going to get cropped out. It's going to be like that. Back to my sketch here. That's what happens when you don't have your layers locked. There. Where am I? Go there. Let's bucket fill it. Okay. Probably this right here we'll get rid of. Leaving just a little bit of sketchiness, because I noticed when I turned it off on her face, it became way less interesting. Oh, that's on her layer. So now I'm just going to go, do I want that? Do I want that? Yeah. Sometimes I think when I'm moving the screen, I think I accidentally make a mark sometimes. No, we're going to keep that. Oh, what's going on there? Interesting. Let's use a tiny eraser. Yay. Not trying to make her perfect at all. I'm just trying to remove things that I definitely didn't intend. So here, that doorknob is a little crazy looking. So over here, I'm just gonna fill it with, I'm just gonna turn it a gray. I don't really want it to stand out so much. And these two. They need to be a little bit stronger. A little stronger gray. Let's try that again. How about a black? So they've got, there we go. They've got a wash over the top of them, so they're a little bit harder to see. We'll go black with that too. Okay, well, quite a few people stopped by today. We're down to just a couple of us, so thank you so much. Just gonna, oh, Russian, hey. Okay, so this one, oh, Russian's gonna go paint pumpkins today. I'm gonna go for a walk when I'm done here. Oh, I will try and check the comments more often. Sorry, Russian. I get so lost in what I'm doing. What I need to do is figure out a way to get the comments to come across my iPad screen. The live is happening here in my phone, and so the comments happen up here high, and then the my eyes are down here though, not up here, and so I get lost in my drawing and I forget to check the comments, but I really appreciate all the comments. So I'm feeling like I've come to the end on this drawing, and we're just about to finish it up. Let's see what happens if I always like to end with, let me make this bigger. Preview the time lapse to show you where I started yesterday. I'm actually going to export it today, and I'm going to export it to my save video. And then I'm going to do, well, maybe it's in my photos. Recents. There we go. So this is where I started yesterday. So this is going to go for a few minutes, but you can see how much I draw and redraw to work things out. And, you know, for every little blip you're seeing here is several minutes. The boot. Now I see the boot like that and I'm like, oh, maybe I should have left the boot that way. But I moved it and made both of her toes point forward. Oh, got rid of the shorts and put jeans on her with rips in them. That was another thing I did. Made her taller than the standard 7 heads high. That was something I decided to do. Added some details for the belt, moved her down in the picture. Then I started working on the architecture using the perspective grid just to lay out where I wanted the buildings and some basic lines. Then I turned the perspective grid off and hand drew everything. Sketched it, roughed it in. That was really time consuming actually. I did most of that last night when no one was watching or when did I do it? I might have done it. I did it when no one was watching. Because it was just really time consuming. And now I'm just working on painting her in, and this is when I think this is when I first went live, actually, is when I started painting. I wonder if I can zoom in and show you. For anyone watching this, I am trying to grow my channel, and the only way I can do that is if people like and subscribe to my channel. And I had a hip problem here that I had to fix. It didn't get fixed for a long time. I think I fixed it this morning when I was working on my own without anyone watching. And so this was still all yesterday, the fringe and everything, the boots. I did the boots last night. Let's see, do we paint them in? We do the chinchilla. Oh my gosh, this chinchilla took a really long time. So it's going to slow the video down here. I did every little hair. And I didn't like how they looked to begin with, so I had to redo them a couple times. And I did every little hair. He'll be done soon. Oh yeah, and chinchillas sort of have a little bit of a pattern to their fur. It's really beautiful. I think that's why they were harvested. Poor things. Okay, so where are we? Oh, and then Kevin Mack, a follower here, suggested I turn the sky red. And then later he's like, try gold. And so I played around with it, and I do take suggestions from people because sometimes, I mean, I'm all about collaboration. I have used collaboration in my work for many, many years. Whoa, what happened? Very successfully. Oh, darn. Let me see if I can fast forward. Yeah, let's get to where I was. I was somewhere, chinchilla, red sky. Here we go. 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 Okay, well, you get the hang of it. I'm going to try and go all the way through here. Oh, to the end when I started doing the buildings. There, it's doing it. It's gone back to running now. Without the girl. There's the girl. Then I added some light lines. Took them away. Didn't like the grid. Just kept reworking everything over and over again until I get it where I like it. Girl's back. Okay. Have we reached the end? Let's see. I think so. All right. So thank you so much for watching today. I'm going to go take a walk, and I hope that you all have a wonderful day. Please like and subscribe. It really helps me. And I feel so bad I missed Russian's comments. I hope he comes back on later and checks out the finish and sees I said, hello, Russian. Okay, and that ends it for today. Thank you, everybody, so much. I'll see you next time.